Alright, quick video for people in the Discord. This is my Jaws build that I've been working on. A couple of people in the Warband have also been working on it. This mod is wrong. This is for PvE. I think it's this one. Yes, it's this one. Okay, so this is the Jaws build that I've been running. Jaws supercharged. Ideally, you don't want supercharged. Like in a min-max situation, you would want pinpoint strike, but it requires you to have two of them, and I don't have two of them. Jaws, you just want to go for like reload, unstable bomber, status damage, weapon damage, crit damage. Like any of those are fine. Accessories, I prefer the flash hider. You don't really need a range on this build, so just making it as easy to hit shots as possible. You're going for body shots, so it doesn't really matter. Gulp Lore is the only sniper that you can run with this build. If you don't have Gulp Lore, you just can't run a sniper. And I'll get into that later. But it's Pinpoint Strike. A lot of people don't have this. You have to farm chest runs. You have to farm the last boss. Unstable bomber damage, element damage, 2 high rolls. Accessories for this, you want as much range as possible for this. Just because sniper damage falls off pretty hard and you want to be able to hit them at a longer range. Melee doesn't really matter. I was able to get this from a chest. I don't have the blueprint yet, but it's really good for finishing off kills, giving you, extra damage, health, whatnot. But as soon as I lose it, I'm gonna be sad. A bit of a weird mod here. I did a lot of testing. No additional weak spot damage doesn't mean no weak spot damage. Your headshots will still do a little bit more damage, but not by much. But the crit damage and crit rate is really important here. Ideally, I'd want this legendary where it'd go to 30 and 10, but I don't have that. I used to have it and I accidentally broke it, so I don't have it. Mask, you need Reckless Bomber. This is where stacking crit rate is going to give you a lot of your damage. This is where this mod basically makes the build do a shit ton of damage. Enduring Shield, this can be literally anything. Like you can just put a health mod if you really want to. I prefer this just for PvP. It also has really good stats with reload, crit, and element. Deadshot is pretty much mandatory for this build. Weapon damage, reload speed, crit damage, all good. But you need this for stacking up your crit damage each time you crit, which is going to be a lot with this build. I'll get into it later. Basically, each time you shoot somebody, it's going to be an increase in damage. So you're going to have ramping damage. That crit damage also works for your explosion as well. So your explosions will be hitting progressively harder. Crit amplifier, you can run either crit damage, you can run crit chance if you really want to. Most people I know are swapping over to crit damage because they realize that when you're critting 100% of your shots, if you crit 90% of your shots but they hit 45% harder, it's worth taking the gamble. This one is slow and steady. This is my preferred one. You can obviously go for secluded strike for the pretty much the same amount of damage, just a little bit more consistent in PvP. In PvE, I would probably recommend slow and steady, but for PvP, you could go either way. More consistent, less overall gain. In terms of pieces, I'm running 4-piece Falcon and then 1-piece Lone Wolf for the movement speed. You can also run things like Savior. You can also run things like Shelter. Shelter actually makes a lot of sense for this build because you want to have more bullets in the magazine. With this, you can go up to like 15 bullets in your jaws, which lets you do a lot more DPS. Savior is good for PvP, just because you can have better medicine cooldowns and that stacks with things in the cradle that I'll show you in a sec. For the cradle mods, you have Pistol Strength, which gives you crit damage if you get a kill, or crit chance, sorry, if you get a kill. Sniper damage, which is just crit rate crit damage, which stacks into the explosions that I'll show later. Tactical combo is just getting a kill. Since you're refilling ammo and stuff, it's really just to stack damage in PvE. After a roll, status damage increases. This works for explosion damage and just makes it a lot more consistent. Deadly combos just for medicine cooldown and healing effects. This is really good for PvP and PvE, just being able to get your activators up quicker. Upper hand reloading increases the instant damage of bomber. You're going to be reloading a lot because you're only going to have 12 to 15 shots of mag. And you can always cancel it early and trigger this whenever you like are going to roll. Like whenever you're reloading, you should roll because then you'll stack upper hand plus flame resonance. This one is bugged right now, but there isn't really anything else to run. So I just run it just in case it does something beneficial, but I have no clue. And then elemental senses just increases your blast damage. That's about it. We'll go into a bit of a DPS showcase. So these are both using tungsten AP just for like the kind of upper limit of damage. So if I do a roll, hitting only body shots, not critting for the first 2 shots is about 20k. Let it reset a bit. If I crit the first shot, you can see it goes up to like 30k. And then for snipers, it seems like it would be a bit weird because I don't have any headshot damage. As you can see, I have 0 headshot damage, but I'm still able to hit for 22k, 26k, 26k-ish again. So yeah, you're able to kind of get away with it because of the passives and the amount of crit damage, crit chance that we have. If you have any questions, just at me in the Discord.